Hi friends! Welcome back to my channel. I'm Aso, this is Aso Tarot, and in today's Pick a Card reading, we are going to be looking at what is next in love for you. So we have 4 different stacks of tarot cards to choose from. Starting with the first stack of cards, I have this hematoid or fire quartz rose on top. And then for the second stack of oracle cards, I have this rose quartz tower on top. And then for the third stack, I have this Herkimer diamond cluster on top. And finally, for pile 4, I have this citrine tower on top. So go ahead and pause the video if you need to decide which pile you feel most drawn to. But before we do that, I did quickly want to give you guys the opportunity to make a wish with me and give a little mini reading to everyone who stuck around for this part. So this is my new High Priestess candle with Angelic Magic 888. If you're interested in getting this candle or any other candles from her site with 10% off, use the code ASO10. Helps me, helps her, helps all of us, and also you get a nice smelling candle. Now the cool thing with this tarot line that I'm doing is that there is a unique tarot card in every single candle. So I haven't opened this up yet because I don't know what the tarot card is, and I'm going to use that tarot card as like our little mini reading, whatever mini message. But I also take this time to have the opportunity to make a wish. So it's actually my birthday today as I'm filming this, so we get to make a little birthday wish together. So I'm so excited to do that. So let's go ahead and see. Oh my gosh, yay! Oh, I can't tell you guys, I might actually cry. I think I needed this too. But we have the star as our card, and I'm going to talk about that in a second. But I thought now would be the perfect time. This is the inside of the High Priestess candle, by the way. It comes with moonstone and amethyst, and it smells really good. But yeah, okay, so I'm gonna set intentions to put my wish in here, and you do the same. So pause the video if you need more time. Okay. Now let's light this bad boy. May your wish, may my wish, and may all our wishes come true. Thank you for spending my little birthday wish with me. Now let's get to your mini tarot card, the star. I definitely think things are going to be getting better and getting easier. I feel very just choked up even talking about this. So if anyone else has been going through it, hey, hello. I definitely feel like this is a sign that things are not only going to be getting better, but that you can start having hope right now that things will be getting better. Not only that, I feel like your guides really just want you to know that they're watching over you, how proud they are of you, and whatever challenges you have been going through recently, they will be lightening up. Not only that, if anyone has been sending negativity towards you or anything like that, I do see any effect that they have had not being a factor moving forward. I think that there's just a lot of healing here, and I feel like the one thing your guides really just want you to know is to not only have hope, but never forget your capacity to heal, and never forget the fluidity of life and time, and the fact that this period of time you will not be stuck in forever. And if anything, keep making wishes, keep looking out for shooting stars or things like that. Shooting stars could actually be a significant sign, but I feel like you're so guided, you're so protected, and you just need to know that things are getting better. You are being watched over, guided, and I'm actually hearing this little lyric-y song from a cinematic classic, Barbie as Rapunzel, where it says, "Constant as the stars above, always know that you are loved." And I think that that is really what your guides want you to know, what the universe wants you to know, that you are so loved, and to remember that as we go through this reading. Thank you for being here, and thank you for making that little wish with me. I hope that your wish comes true, and I hope mine does too. So with that being said, go ahead and pause the video if you need to decide which pile you feel most drawn to. It is absolutely okay to be drawn to more than one. Just do what feels right for you. Take what resonates. Don't let the rest take from you. This is going to be a bit experimental because I'm just doing things differently this time. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoy it. If you do, feel free to check out the extended afterwards. But that is where I'm going to leave this. So thank you guys so much for watching and for being here and for making a wish with me. And I will see you in your reading. Hi there, Pile 1. Welcome to your reading, and thank you so much for being here. If you guys chose the Fire Quartz Rose, love that that rhymes, this is going to be your reading on what is next in love for you. So there's a full breakdown of the reading in the intro, and if you want to make a wish, that is there as well. But I'm just going to start by laying out your tarot cards, and then I will get into it. So to start, we have the Eight of Swords. We have the World, and we have the Knight of Swords. We have the Sun in reverse. We have the Six of Cups. And we have the Hermit. Okay, let me make sure these are all right. Okay, cool. So, Pile 1, what is next in love for you? So, the situations are definitely going to be different, but the overall vibe that I'm getting is, and the first message that I'm getting is, what should be next in love is you being less hard on yourself. Like, the message I'm getting is, like, stop being so hard on yourself. But also, I think what's next in love for you is a realization of maybe a distortion around how you've been looking at your love life or love in general. If you're in a relationship, I don't know if this pile is going to resonate for you, but if you are in a relationship, the one vibe that I would be getting from this energy is that what's next in love for you may be a period of retreat from your partner, because it does look like there's a lot within you, no matter what, whether you have a partner or not, that needs addressed. But ultimately, it just kind of seems like if you are in a relationship, it seems like what's next is that you're not getting whatever it is that you need, but I think that you're figuring out what it is that you need. If you're not in a relationship, I can definitely see that there is an energy here where you're kind of, I don't want to say being like shaken. It's almost like the fog is clearing a little bit, where you may just kind of be realizing how you've been projecting this idea of happiness into the future, or getting so stuck in your head that you're looking at other people and their lives and wondering if you're doing something wrong, or if there's something not right with you or something like that. And when it comes to love in general, I feel like you could be really, and I would ask yourself this, I would ask yourself if you're like hardcore projecting onto couples that you see in media, especially social media, and kind of saying, well, they must have a perfect relationship, or they must have this, or they must have that. Because first of all, no, they don't. Listen, everyone's relationships are different, and no relationship is perfect. Even if it's happy, doesn't mean it's perfect. But there are a lot of people that share their relationships, especially online, that are not in happy ones. So I feel like the first thing that Spirit is asking you to do is to stop assuming that other people are happier or more fulfilled with their lives. And the next thing that you need to start doing is, which I think I already kind of told you, is to stop being so hard on yourself. I do feel like for some of you, you could be talking to someone, and you'll know if it's this person, if they are very engaged but maybe not very deep, or if they do have the capacity to be deep, it either seems like they're avoiding that with you, or they just don't really go that deep in general. Because there could be someone here that's like on paper, like really, like a really strong contender, a really strong romantic interest, but I do see this being ultimately unfulfilling. I feel like for a lot of you, there could be a situation where there's someone in front of you, or someone that you do have the opportunity to get to know better, that is great, or at the very least, like they're fine, there's nothing wrong with them, but you either may not be vibing with them, or there may be just this kind of inner awareness of like, I'm not going to feel connection with this person, where maybe you see them for a little while and you just realize like, oh, we're not really connecting the way I thought, or maybe you both just connect very differently. What I see ultimately is what's next in love for you is a recalibration of what it is you truly want, what really matters to you. With the Six of Cups being here, I definitely think you're going to start reconnecting with yourself and connecting in general with people that evoke loving feelings, especially friends and family. However, I feel like one thing that you're going to be realizing as well is how your friends and family shape the way you view love and shape how you approach love. Because I think one thing that you may be realizing as well is that when it comes to your love life, this is meant to be a solo endeavor. And let's say, for example, you are talking to someone and things are going really well and you're really vibing and really connecting. But let's say all of your friends or your closest friends have only been hurt and betrayed by past romantic interests. So you're being told by them, you know, don't trust them, like this or that. You might be getting advice that's creating stress in your life. And I think the first thing that you need to know is that you don't need to take advice from anyone, but if it helps, if you wouldn't trade, like let's say someone is giving you advice on your love life, sorry, I'm burping, and you know that you would not want to trade love lives with them. If you wouldn't trade lives with them, you don't have to take advice from them, I guess is what I'm saying. But a lot of people obviously give their unsolicited advice. But I think for you, what you're going to be realizing is that a lot of your fears and a lot of your blockages when it comes to love are not only just in your head, but also related to you absorbing other people's blockages. So, you know, if someone has this blockage around trust, you might start to notice that, like, when you talk to them about who you're talking to or who you're around, you start to feel insecure about who can I trust, or who can I, should I even be open, this or that. That's just an example. But I feel like for you, I feel like you're just really overthinking things. And I feel like what's next in love for you is a completion of a cycle where I feel like you're starting to let go of how you want people to show up or how you think things should go, and instead just let things happen naturally. I think what you're realizing is that the biggest priority here is the connection between you and whoever you are seeing or are dating or are with. And I feel like there's going to be this realization of, well, if I don't have that connection, if I don't have that sweet, fulfilling vibe, then I would rather be on my own than with someone that can't meet me even halfway. Because I feel like you are someone who dives deep and someone who is okay being on their own, but you might just feel a lot of stress and pressure around showing up the way other people think you should, or you might feel insecure sometimes because you don't have a partner, and a lot of people do. And you might even be seeing like lots of people that are together. I don't know why I keep getting like Love Island references, like, because I just heard like coupled up, which I feel like, first of all, if you're man, Love Island, I don't know if you guys have like shows that you only like consume when you're in a really, really dark headspace. That's Love Island for me. So I hope you're not in a dark headspace, but I do feel like at this point in time, what's next in love for you is realizing that the way you're approaching love has to shift and change. And also, you gotta stop expecting top-notch work from a mediocre worker, which by that I mean, with this Knight of Swords card, I feel like Spirit's asking you to raise your standards a little bit, because I feel like you might be giving people time and attention that honestly just aren't worth your time and attention. And it may be because you feel like you should be open to love, and you might be worried like, well, if I'm not open to love, then I'm not going to get anything. And if I'm not going to get anything, then I'm going to be alone, which I feel like, first of all, there is this energy here where you have kind of been alone anyway. But I feel like what you're being asked to ask yourself is, do you want to be alone with someone else, or do you want to be alone by yourself? Because I think, and I'm not saying what's next in love for you is you're going to be alone, but what I am saying is that you're being primed for a deeper connection with someone. Oh my gosh, I didn't even realize I've got fuzzies in here. You're also being primed to stop projecting fantasies of what you think other people's lives, especially their love lives, are like. And I think more than anything, you're turning your back on the past in a really positive way, where I feel like, first of all, you're seeing past, I'm literally hearing players for what they are, which if you've never read The Game by Neil Strauss, I highly recommend you read that book. It's literally called The Game, and it's by Neil Strauss, Neilstrauss, and it's all about players. And I think if you have been played or anything like that, you will be, that book will be very eye-opening for you. But I feel like you may just be realizing how much of your past pain had nothing to do with you, and just with the lack of care and also the ignorance of other people, their selfish motivations. And I think for you, there's this realization of, oh, I need to start being selfish. I need to start putting myself first. And I think that's actually what's helped bringing about exactly what you need. But I also think with the World card here, you could be closing out cycles with certain people in your life that don't have your best interests at heart, that even if they do care and they do want the best for you, they may be just creating more stress, or maybe they don't want you to thrive the way you want to thrive. And so I feel like there might be this realization of, if we don't have the heart connection, I don't know if I'm going to invest energy in things anymore. I feel like in general for you, there is this major shift from appearances and how things should be and what things like appear to be to you, and moving into what do they feel like, and how are my connections making me feel. And I think more than that, you'll know you're on the right track when you're connecting with people from like a heart-centered place, from a place where you feel heard, where you feel seen, where you feel connected. I also think with the Hermit card being here, this is going to be a time for you where you are being encouraged not only to ask like deep questions of yourself, but to do the same with your romantic interests, because I feel like you are just going to be completely unsatisfied by someone who can't go deep, or by someone that's just, kind of there, but not really. There's just not a whole lot going on underneath the surface, I guess. Like, they might be really attractive, they might be really nice, but I feel like that attractive and nice are not the nutrients you need in a connection. And I think really what's next in love for you is getting out of your head and realizing that your happiness, first of all, isn't dependent on another person. And second, if it did depend on another person, that would be codependent and not healthy for you. But also that you may be creating more stress for yourself than necessary by comparing yourself to other people, or assuming what other people's relationships are like. And so I think what's next for you is this realization of, if it's not real, if it's not true, if it's not deep, I don't want it. And I'm going to continue to have a real, deep, true connection with myself until I get that from someone else. And I think what's really beautiful is that you're walking into this portal. And I think that actually what's really cool is that it seems like this hermit card is almost walking directly into where the sun is. And so I feel like, if you've been really hoping to experience joy through a romantic connection, I actually think you're going to find it through literally just choosing to shift your perspective and find joy in the moment. But I also think that energy is exactly what's attracting like the right person to you. So I'm going to go ahead and get into charms now and see what else Spirit wants you to know. But I did want to say that there will be an extended, and in the extended, we're going to be looking at who is interested in you or who will be interested in you. I'm going to ask Spirit about like a significant person coming in for you, I think. And we're going to go deep into that. But looking at your charms now, my eyes are closed, by the way. Spirit, what guidance do you have for pile 1? What signs should pile 1 expect? What is next in love for pile 1, please? Okay. So, first of all, the thing that first caught my eye was now. Now is the time. And I think this is probably really poignant because you're probably feeling this sense of like, you're running out of time, or that there's not much time left for you, or that if you don't do something now, like you'll never find someone. You may be feeling rushed to find the right partner or rushed to settle down. And I feel like Spirit is saying now is the time to be present with yourself and to be caring and kind to yourself, because I feel like more than anything, you could really create a lot of harm towards yourself by making decisions from an impulsive place, by making decisions from a place of what you think you should do rather than what you truly want to do. And I think Spirit is saying now is the time to choose yourself. Now is the time to put you first, and everything else will fall into place. I also think that your ability to shift into sun energy, into positivity, is like really, really powerful. And so I think you could effortlessly attract the right kind of connection or the right kind of person sooner than you think. But if you're feeling like I need to find the right person, I need to find the right connection for me, Spirit is saying then you need to start, now is the time to start asking yourself, well, what do I want? What do I want out of a life partner? What do I want out of a person that I'm with? But we also have this locket that says, I carry your heart with me. And so I feel like for some of you, you could be realizing like maybe you have a divine counterpart or something like that, for example, and you're not with them, but you're realizing like I either want something that's similar to that or not at all. And I feel like Spirit's saying that that's absolutely okay to want. And I feel like one thing you need to know is that if you do have a counterpart, like you're in their heart, and they want you to know that. And I feel like if you have someone in your heart, I feel like one of the biggest things Spirit wants you to know is that like that feeling is mutual. And also you don't have to force yourself to move on or force yourself to be with someone if it doesn't feel right, if it doesn't feel authentic with you. But also I think this is for everyone, that there's someone out there, whether you've met them or not, that you have a true heart connection to. And I feel like even though you both might not be consciously aware of one another, you can still feel one another, and like that feeling can help you both like remember that you're out there, or that you'll find one another, you'll come back together when the time is right. Let's see what else. We also have this Cancer charm. So you could be a Cancer, that could be confirmation for you, or you could have Cancer placement, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, or your a person of interest could be a Cancer, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, imaginative. So I also think as well, like pay attention to like your imagination and just like kind of the things you fantasize, because there could be messages there. But Cancer season could also be a significant time period for you. This is a timeless reading, but Cancer season could be a period of time where you meet someone or where you reconnect with someone. But I also think Cancer energy in general is really significant here, because we also have the bottled up emotions. I feel like one thing that Spirit is asking you to do is to stop playing things so tough. I feel like one thing that is really messing with you when it comes to your love life is the fact that you're coming at your love life from a logical place, from a strategic place that's not really useful or beneficial. And a lot of people come at love from this perspective because they're afraid of being open and they're afraid of getting hurt, and it's understandable, but it's not going to help you here. And I think what you need to realize, or what you're realizing and what you're choosing, is something deep over something that looks good or seems good on paper, you know. I feel like if anything, you need to be kinder to yourself and like stop putting so much pressure on yourself. But we also have you're doing fine, don't give up. So yeah, Spirit's definitely saying like don't give up on your desire for deep, real, and true love. Don't give up on that just for like some mediocre connection, or just so that other people will get off your back and ask you when you're gonna start dating, or when you're gonna do this, or when you're gonna do that. Just do what feels right for you. I will say, if you are in a relationship with someone and you're still watching this, you and this person might be either deepening your connection or choosing to go separate ways because they can't meet you with where you're at. And I feel like if that's the case, it's probably divinely timed and meant to happen that way. But I feel like for the vast majority of you, if I'm hearing Boulevard of Broken Dreams in my head right now by Green Day, and I feel like if you've already been walking that lonely road, the only road that you've ever known, where you don't know where it goes, but it's only you and you walk alone, I feel like Spirit is saying that path of walking alone is leading you to someone who can not only understand what it's like to walk alone as well, but someone who can truly love and appreciate your greatness and who you are, because you deserve that. We also have this elephant here. So Lord Ganesha could be significant, but I also see this as a removal of obstacles. I also see elephants as a sign that, first of all, you're gaining wisdom and maturity from these cycles. Elephants could also be a positive sign of just like you're on the right track. I also think in this case, you are gaining a lot of wisdom from your experiences, which I think I've already said. But also I think that this elephant could be representative of someone who is wise and nurturing and compassionate and gentle and maybe a little slow moving. And so that could be the person that you're either waiting on or walking towards, or that could be the person that you're meeting. We also have living my best life. And I really do think that your guides are telling you like your best experiences in love will happen when you're living your best life. And so with the Sun card being here in reverse, I feel like you're realizing like, I'm not happy and a partner is not going to change that, and relying on a relationship to change that is not going to change anything. I think if anything, your guides are really asking you to say, where could I be living? Where could I make my life more magical? Or what can I do to make my everyday life more fun? Or what can I do to just show myself love and appreciation? I feel like those things could be very useful and beneficial for you. But if I can turn this over, we also have the letter H. So I just heard like, why does it have to be so hard? Why does it have to be so complicated? Oh, Avril Lavigne. Okay, that's the song I was hearing. Well, I wasn't hearing a song, but like I knew there was a song related to complicated, and I couldn't remember what it was, but the song is Complicated by Avril Lavigne. But we do have the letter H, so the H could be a name, a place. It could just be saying hiya. Someone could be reaching out to say hi. But we also have to travel is to live, and we also have the world card, the world charm here. So I do feel like you're actually really being encouraged to get outside of your comfort zone and travel in some way. Like you could meet someone that way, or you could at the very least just have some like very powerful eat, pray, love memories, or some very powerful experiences with people already in your life, or powerful experiences that shift and shape the way you look at love and life. I also feel like though, if you've been looking for a sign, like if you've been wanting to move, I feel like this is a positive sign, that if you want to move, that is possible for you. But I love this actually. When you get caught up in the thought that, you know, this world is so big and there's so many people, how will I ever find the right person? Well, first of all, if you're monogamous, you only need to find one. And I feel like what you should remember is that the earth is kind of like a womb, a big ass womb with a lot going on in it. But with that being said, you know, you're in the same womb as your person, as the person that you will be with, or that you are meant to be with next. And you may feel like the world is so big, how will you ever find them? All you need to know is that when you follow your heart, you will find them. Like you're literally stuck in an enclosed, encased planet with them. Like when you're meant to find them, or when you're meant to reconnect, like you will. I feel like when you get overwhelmed by just like how big the earth is and things like that, thinking of the earth as a womb for me, and like a womb for humanity for some reason, has just like kind of helped contextualize like all of our places in it. And I think for you, you know, I feel like the universe wants to remind you that while the world is big, it's also small, and you're never too well hidden to miss out on the people meant for you. But also finally, we have this shoe here, and I was just started by hearing like if the shoe fits. So I do feel like one thing that could be helpful for you is like, one, giving yourself more credit and lifting yourself up, I feel like could be helpful. But I also think that if you have been wanting to revamp your wardrobe, or just get some things that make you feel good about yourself, I feel like this is your sign to do that. I just saw a scene from the cinematic classic Dodgeball, a true underdog story, where one of the characters, White Goodman, is about to put on his shiny shoes. And listen, if you can approach life with half the confidence of White Goodman, you will go places. That's all I will say. and he was a rotten garbage human being of a character. So if you have that confidence and you've got a good heart, man, you're good to go. But if not, I feel like this is a sign. If you're here, you need to watch Dodgeball, a true underdog story, if you have not, because it's a very good movie. Anyway, so those are your charms, pile 1. So let's go ahead now and get into your guidance. So what I'm going to start by doing is pulling from this tarot deck. And first, I just want to see like what action your guides want you to take. Actually, you know what? I'll just see what guidance spirit has for you. So pile 1's guidance spirit, what guidance do you have for pile 1 when it comes to their love life at this time? We have death, I let go and embrace new beginnings. We have the 9 of Swords, I trust the present moment. And we have the Lovers, I trust my knowing and make a commitment. Okay, yeah, this is really beautiful. And with the back of the deck, we have the 6 of Swords. I know that peaceful times will come. So I definitely feel like what's next in love for you and what you're being guided to do is to trust in the present moment and let go of the past, because that's exactly what is leading you to this energy of being with the right lover for you. Like, and I feel like this is such a good reminder of why you should trust your knowing and why you should trust what is right for you, because you'll know a commitment is right for you when it doesn't make you feel tense or uneasy or trapped, you know? I also think that Spirit is really asking you to let go of overthinking and be aware of when you are stuck in fearful thoughts or a fearful energy, because that fear is not reality, even though it can feel real. I feel like one of the most empowering things you can do for yourself is to remind yourself that what happens in your mind is not the reality. And not only that, with the Death card being here, I let go and embrace new beginnings. Like, everything that you're letting go of, everything that's ending, embrace that, embrace the transformation as well, because it's leading you exactly where you want to go. And I feel like when you get worried or overwhelmed because things aren't happening according to like a timeline or a time frame, I feel like Spirit is just reminding you that that everything is under control and you're exactly where you need to be. Just the best thing you can do is get out of your head and in any way you can, choose love, whether it's love towards yourself, like making choices that show yourself love, making choices that bring about more love. Make your choices from love rather than fear, even when you are in a fearful state. And I think that just through that, as long as you continue to choose yourself and choose what is meaningful to you, you're going to walk straight into whoever this lover's person is. So before we go into the extended, I'm going to shuffle this deck really quickly, but I think what we're going to do for you guys is look at who this lover is, how they feel about you or will feel about you, depending on if you know them, action they're likely to take, action you're being guided to take, and like what you need to know moving forward. But with that being said, pile 1, Spirit, what final guidance do you want to leave them off with, please? What would you like pile 1 to know? Okay, we've got 2. So we've got this one. Daisies could be a significant flower. And it says, criticizing one another will only lead to further unhappiness. Love and accept each other as you are, and your relationship will magically transform. So I even feel like for a lot of you, especially if you're single, this has everything to do with how you're criticizing yourself rather than loving and accepting yourself. And loving is an action, you know, it's not a decision. And also it's a feeling that can't be forced. And so sometimes the most loving thing we can do for ourselves is just give ourselves a break or be kind to ourselves or allow ourselves to be human. And I feel like loving and accepting yourself is what is going to continue to bring about these transformations that on top of it will lead you to this person or lead you back to this lover's person. But we also have emotions are a natural and necessary part of life, but they can also distort your perception and cloud your vision. In order to see things clearly, you must let go of resentment. So yeah, I definitely think that this letting go of the past is incredibly important. But on the back of the deck, we have a new beginning. A new adventure awaits. Embrace it and live your dreams passionately, which is very encouraging for me to see here, because I definitely think that not only is there a beautiful new beginning for you, but I think that this decision to What's next in love for you truly is to decide that you deserve better and that you don't need to continue comparing yourself to appearances that you don't even know the reality of, and to realize that not only are you so lovable, but also you deserve to feel love in every element of your life, not just your love life. And you deserve to feel good about who you are and who is in your life and all of that jazz. So pile 1, I am going to go ahead and move over into the extended now, which will be linked down below. But if you're leaving me here, thank you guys so much for watching. And thank you so much for letting my ads play in the background. That is one of the simplest and easiest ways to support me and show appreciation for my channel, if you enjoyed it. But you can support me in many other ways by checking out the extended. That's super helpful. Liking the video and commenting down below how it resonates, incredibly helpful. You can also subscribe and join my notification squad. Shout out to my notification squad. You guys are the best. You can also check out, what else can you check out? You can check out my candles. Be sure to use code ASO10 for 10% off. You can also check out my merch and my social media, but that's all I have for you guys. So thank you so much for watching and for being here. I hope you all have a wonderful day or night whenever it is that you're watching this video, and I hope you'll come back and see me again soon. Bye. Hi there, pile 2. Welcome to your reading, and thank you so much for being here. If you guys chose the Aura Rose Quartz Tower and this stack of tarot cards, this is going to be your reading on what is next in love for you. So to start, we have the Tower, we have the 4 of Pentacles, and we have the Ace of Cups. We also have the King of Pentacles. We have the Devil in reverse. And we have Shadow Work upright. Okay. This is interesting. And because this is what's next in love, for some of you, some of what I'm about to talk about may be what has already occurred. But for others, I definitely think that this is something either to be aware of or a series of events that may happen that have not happened yet. So this Tower card is actually what's stumping me. So I'm going to grab my little clarifying deck and ask what this Tower card is about. So Spirit, what is this Tower card about, please? The Moon. Okay, all right, that makes sense. And then can you give me a little bit more detail on this King of Pentacles, please? We have the Page of Swords. Okay. Okay. Interesting. Give me one more. 3 of Cups. Okay. Meh. I guess it wants to be in reverse. Okay. So, fascinating stuff. 3 of Swords on the back of the deck. I definitely think what's next in love for you, and I'm getting kind of 2 different energies, so I'm going to do my best to go back and forth. I feel like what's next in love for you is that you may either be rejecting someone or someone may be rejecting you, that you're either not prepared for, or it confirms some sort of fear you have about yourself. Or if you were involved with someone, that could be ending, and it could be something that intuitively you felt like was coming, but you weren't sure. If not, you could be ending things with someone. But ultimately, what I see next in love for you is 1, taking back your energy, and 2, a realization of either like you deserve better or the universe recognized that you deserve better, and so they're getting you in the position to either receive better or recognize what it is that you truly deserve to receive. And I think what's really going to be happening here is I see you in this King of Pentacles energy. You could be an earth sign, Cancer. I said you could be an earth sign, and then I said Cancer, which is a water sign. You could be an earth sign, which is a Virgo, Capricorn, or Taurus. We do have Capricorn energy here. And Mars energy with the Tower, which is ruled by Aries, can also be Scorpio. But I actually think for some of you, none of these events may actually happen. They may just all be fears in your head, because here's the vibe that I'm getting. You being in this King of Pentacles energy gives me the vibe that you're in a place where you're ready for a partnership, or you're ready for something solid. And if you are in a partnership with someone already, I would say this reading is for you if you're unsatisfied with that partnership, if you feel like things aren't really going anywhere. The vibe that I'm getting is that what's next in love for you is a realization of where you're putting your time and energy, or who you're putting your time and energy and attention into. Because I feel like you may be realizing that you're dating people or meeting people on the basis of what they could be rather than who they actually are. And I feel like you've been dealing with people that are either just straight up immature mentally and emotionally, or are just very kind of closed off, and they could leave you unhappy or just leave you feeling like puzzled or insecure. And I definitely think if that is the case, what's next for you is kind of letting go of that a bit and healing from that. I feel like for a lot of you though, you're going to be realizing, why do I attract the types of people that I do, and why am I attracted to these certain types of people? I also think that either something that you're really afraid of happening, like someone you're into rejecting you, or some kind of big fear of yours when it comes to love and relationships might be coming true. And it's definitely not a bad thing, but it might feel like a bad thing. The vibe that I'm getting with the Tower and the Moon here is that some sort of fear, either like, for example, that a relationship is ending, or that someone that you were hoping would be more than someone that you were hoping would be more than a friend doesn't want to be more than friends. Or a big vibe that I could be getting is that someone who is a lot more promising than you thought, or someone who you thought was very promising, turns out to have a dark side that they were not revealing to you, and that is going to be discovered, whether through you or through the universe, and that is going to really shift your perspective on love and be like, okay, I really need to start actually prioritizing myself, prioritizing my needs. So I feel like the vibe here is what's next in love for you is real work. You're going to stop avoiding yourself, and you're going to be doing the very necessary shadow work. Because I think also during this period of time, you may have romantic interests coming in and out. If anything, I think that you may be dating a lot and kind of just getting to know people. And definitely, I can definitely see you being a bit more protective of your heart. And I see you also, instead of going on these dates with the hopes of like a certain outcome, I think instead you are using these dates as opportunities to learn more about yourself and learn more about connection in general, and where maybe your blind spots in connection are. I also think that if you are either rejected by someone that you were really hoping you were going to have something more with, or you end something with someone, first of all, you'll already kind of feel like you are meant to do that, but also like some sort of like deception will come to light here. Like if anyone's leaving, it's because they've been deceptive and unfair to you. But I do think that whatever this situation is creating, it is going to kind of force you to face yourself and actually do the work. But the beautiful thing is that, let me ask what this Ace of Cups is about. Where is this Ace of Cups coming from, Spirit? We have the Eight of Cups. Yeah, okay. So I definitely think that you are, oh, wow, okay. So actually, this first of all, I do have to say that this is going to be a quicker phase for you. For some of you, there could be some tying up of loose ends going on here, but I think that there's going to be necessary healing done from someone who, if I'm being honest, you are carrying them anyway. Like, it seems like whoever you are currently involved with, if you are involved with someone, it seems like they're kind of dead weight. Like, they don't really provide much. It seems like you're the one always giving. You know, they always know what to say, but they don't really follow through with what they say. I definitely think that that is someone that you are letting go of in your life. And I think that if you're not letting go of them, I think that they're walking away, and it's very much needed. And that may be kind of hard to hear, but I'm going to tell you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear. And I think the truth is that you are going to be more alone with this person and more miserable with this person than you would be on your own, or you would be just dealing with the pain of like whatever severance is going to happen. But it's because the universe is tired of you being involved with anchors. And by anchors, I mean people that literally drag you down. And I also think if these anchors were possessive over you, I think you're going to be doing just having a lot of realizations about how you were manipulated or how you were treated in the past. And this doesn't even have to be something in the recent past. Like, I feel like the work that you're going to be doing in the next couple months is going to be forcing you to really take a hard look at yourself. Like, where have you been pushing life and love out? Where have you been neglecting yourself? And what red flags did you miss? Or what red flags have you learned are red flags? I feel like you might be looking at this past relationship or just connection with someone and kind of realizing like, wow, I really did deserve better. And that was really messed up. And I can't believe they framed it in this way to make it look like my fault or something like that, where I feel like you're just kind of realizing, and this doesn't even have to be romantic connections. It can be any sort of connection, any sort of love that you had for someone where you kind of realized like they really hurt you in some way, or they made you really doubt yourself or question yourself. And I feel like that energy is kind of either what's next or what's recently happened. And it's going to be a catalyst for you to actually be open to better and brighter things. And I feel like the first thing that Spirit wants you to know is that what you're walking away from, you're walking towards what you actually want. Like with this Ace of Cups, I think there are ample romantic opportunities, and I will say in the extended we are going to look at a potential romantic interest. Pile ones was quite interesting, but I do think that there is going to be a necessary period of asking yourself why you may have held on to something that wasn't serving you for as long as you did, or was it really your fault? Or I feel like you might be blaming yourself a lot. And I think more than anything, Spirit just wants you to know and understand that oftentimes other people's behavior has nothing to do with us and everything to do with them. And I think in your case, I think you might be feeling a little afraid and a little uncertain about ever opening yourself up, or just about people in general. And I feel like what Spirit wants you to know is that the work that you're doing within these next upcoming months are what's going to not only lead you to the right person, but also to being able to make decisions and choices in love that not only honor you, but help you feel safer in doing so. I feel like there is kind of this Band-Aid ripping off that might be kind of painful in the beginning, but it's because you're going to realize that you're healed and that Band-Aid's been on way too long. And I think not only that, you might have to face yourself and ask yourself why you've been going after unavailable people, or why you've been involving yourself with people that don't treat you right. And maybe that's because you don't think you deserve better. And the fact that you're showing up as a King of Pentacles really goes to show to me that you are not only a hot commodity, but like you have so much more value than you give yourself credit for. And I think that a lot of what's next in love for you is realizing that like you're going to continue to have situations like this happen when you choose to only see the best in people, when you choose to sacrifice, to set yourself on fire to keep other people warm, and when you settle for what you think you deserve. And I think that what's next in love for you is kind of facing your worst fears so that you can realize that even when your worst fears come true, life still moves on, and it won't be the end of the world. If anything, it'll be the greatest blessing in disguise that ever happened for you. And if anything, I feel like what you're going to realize through this process is that thank God this happened to me, and thank God I didn't waste another minute living in an illusion of my own shadows, because your shadows are running the show right now, and your shadows are what is attracting you to people that leave you disappointed. And so I definitely think that what's next for you in love is doing the necessary shadow work so that you can actually engage in relationships where not only are you seeing people more authentically, but I also think you're going to have better awareness of, like, you know, things like love bombing, things like, you know, just unhealthy behavior. I think you're going to be more aware of it. And I also think you're going to realize, like, you may have been projecting your hopes in another person or in the idea that someone can change. And I think you doing the work to change yourself is what's going to help you be at peace with the fact that, you know, change takes time and change is challenging, but it's necessary for all of life and in general. But I also think with this Ace of Cups being here, you have like many opportunities actually in love coming up, and I think it's all about how you play it. But ultimately, I think you might be a little bit more reserved to the opportunities coming in your way, and you might even be pushing perfectly good opportunities away out of fear. And I think what Spirit wants you to know is like, you don't need to push opportunities away out of fear. Like, the sky is not going to crumble if you go out on one bad date. Like, I've gone out on a bad date and I survived. It was fine. But one thing I will say is that, like, if you have to drink or anything to like get along with someone, that might be a sign that they're not very aligned with you, or you don't connect very naturally at the very least. But I think more than anything, the more you become aware of your own shadows, you're going to see how they impact your ability to connect with others. And I think more than anything, what's next in love for you is doing the necessary work so that you can actually engage in your dating life or in meeting other people in a way that's not from a place of fear or do they like me, but rather a place of, I deserve love, I deserve companionship, and these are the things I need, these are the things that I want. Okay, let me see what's out there and see what aligns with me and what doesn't. I really do think that this is a period of heaviness that might be frustrating for you, but the reward is you're able to move forward without those same burdens or these same shadows running amok and causing you to make decisions that you're like, why did I make that decision? Why did I choose to do that? And then later, like, regretting it, if that makes sense. So now I'm going to get some charms to see what's next in love, and also just guidance. But I also wanted to say, I think in your extended, I'm going to pull for like multiple romantic options, and we're going to see like what it is you need to know about all of them. I think I'm just going to write that down. Okay, so I'm going to close my eyes now. Spirit, pile 2. What is next in love for pile 2? What do they need to be aware of? Okay. All right. So, first of all, we have this little postcard here. So, you could be living in Paris or from France, or be French or speak French or something like that. But this could also be a sign that you could be getting communication from someone who is not in the same place as you, or you could be hearing from someone you haven't heard from in a long time. Let's see, where do I want to go next? We have this ring here. And so I definitely think that like you're headed towards a commitment that you want, but I feel like you don't know what you need. And I feel like the universe is guiding you towards what you need. Like, this is a gold ring. So, you know, gold in alchemy is something that's created, and I feel like you're being alchemized into gold, and like the person that you're going to meet is also golden. And when you have that golden connection, you're going to be so grateful and happy that nothing else really worked out. And I feel like you're going to realize, like, this is why, like, this is what I deserve. I also am just hearing, like, a circle is round, it has no end. That's how long I want to be your friend. And I feel like that's the type of energy that you're attracting through this work with yourself, and through this realization that you deserve better, that you deserve kinder, that you deserve more loving, that you deserve someone who is not going to let their shadows get in the way of their ability to have real, genuine love. But we also have this clear quartz crystal, in which I'm just thinking about the fact that, well, it's not legit clear quartz, it's just kind of a clear little bead, but I definitely think you're getting clarity on any deception or illusions on people around you that may need to go, or spirit might get rid of them themselves. So just know that if someone like leaves your life in the near future, it's a blessing in disguise, which we even have this little charm here to say that yes, you are blessed. And not only that, I really do think that, like, I'm hearing like the kind of the phrase, like, some people, I don't know what it is, it's a quote, but it essentially says, like, you know, you don't need the fair weathered friends. You need the people with roots, the people that are not afraid to get in the dirt with you and the darkness with you, and be there for you and be with you, not just someone that's gonna stay on the surface and only be around when things are good. But I feel like you need to know that you are blessed, and that your connections are blessed, and that you may not feel that way. But I do feel like, especially with this dinosaur being here, your guides want you to know that history is not an excuse to stay in something that doesn't work, and history is not an excuse to allow someone's poor treatment towards you. I also think, too, there could be someone coming in, or someone that you are meant to meet, that you have like a past life connection with, and I feel like a lot of what you've been dealing with is like very karmic in nature. And the quintessential energy of a karmic partner is, while their energy may feel addictive and irresistible, and like you're just drawn to them, magnetized to them, and you don't understand why, it doesn't stay like that. In fact, once you've learned the lessons, you don't really feel any pull, or you may even feel resistance. So one thing you do need to know is that connections like that, I won't even say that they're bad or wrong. Like, you learn, no matter what connection you're in, you learn and you grow from it. But I definitely think that you may be worried that, like, you'll never stop having feelings for someone that treated you poorly or something like that. And I feel like Spirit is saying, like, no, trust me. Like, you might feel like it's hard to picture your life without someone in it, but I feel like you might only even be thinking that way because someone may have convinced you of that, someone that's unhappy with their own life. And I feel like Spirit wants you to live your best life. The fact that we have living my best life here, I really do think that Spirit is wanting you to know that the more you embrace living your best and most authentic life, where you're seeing all of yourself and being the most aware, like, that is what is going to bring you the most happiness. But I also think with this dinosaur, like, dinosaurs could be significant. Maybe a potential partner is older than you, or maybe you just have this like connection that you can't quite describe. It's not going to be the same as like a karmic connection, though. It's like, it's more like there's a deep familiarity there. But I feel like more than anything, any opportunities coming in, Spirit's kind of saying, you know, don't force yourself to go with what's familiar. Don't be afraid to go after what's unknown and what's uncertain. Let's see. We also have the letter S. So the letter S could be significant. It could be a place. It could be an initial in your name, an initial in your person's name. There's a little dragonfly in it. I'm hearing see ya, don't want to be ya. I don't know what that's about, but let's see what else we have. We have this scarab beetle. So Egypt could be significant, or ancient Egyptian culture could be significant. But the scarab beetle for me is all about transformation and life and death. And I feel like right now you're going through like a cycle of allowing what needs to die to go so that what is meant to live and be a part of your life can be born. But I also think this color teal blue is really important. I feel like there's a lot about being truthful, not only with others, but with yourself. And I feel like your guides are really encouraging you to worry less about, like, you can be honest and still be kind. I feel like you're afraid of being honest with people sometimes because you don't want to hurt their feelings, but just to know that, like, if you're being honest but kind, like, that's really all you can do. We also have this little pineapple here. So I feel like one thing is Spirit is saying that it may be more beneficial for you to go into things as like just friends at first if you're feeling very weary, like maybe just look for friends first and build from a friendship. But I'm also thinking of SpongeBob. So I don't know, maybe someone like SpongeBob, or SpongeBob could be a positive sign about something. SpongeBob or Squidward or something like that. But let's see what else. Okay, so we have a lot of music charms. We have a guitar charm. We have this this guy. I can't remember the name, and I don't want to try because I know anyone who remembers the name is just gonna flame me in the comments about it. So this little music guy, that's what I'm gonna call him. And we have drums. So I feel like you and this person, maybe both of you are musicians, or music will matter to both of you. One telltale sign that someone is right for you is that they are going to not only encourage your passions, but they may even share your passions or love to hear you talk about your passions or do things that you feel passionate about. And one telltale sign that someone is not worth your time is someone that makes you feel bad about your passions or belittles them. But I feel like you and this person could have very similar tastes in music, or you could just work really well together. Like maybe you're not literally like musicians, but in terms of a band, like you have different functions. Like if one of you is the type A planner person, then you know the other is like the person that just likes to go with the flow and just likes to be there. Like I feel like you work really well together and the vibe will be very simple. I feel like the right person for you, like you both will make beautiful music together, whether that's literally or whether you're creating something together, or it's just like the energy that exists between the two of you and the flow that exists between the two of you is just something that's not only very beautiful, but it like inspires others and moves others as well. And I feel like Spirit is saying like you are such a gift, you are such a gem. There's no reason for you to be belittling yourself for people that could never even afford your gem ass anyway. We also have this axolotl pin, and I feel like this is just so you. This is so pile 2 vibes. Like, are you kidding me? So cute and glittery. And I'm pretty sure axolotls have, I don't even know if I'm saying that right, but I'm pretty sure that they, whenever they lose appendages, they grow back. And so I feel like one thing Spirit's saying is that like anything that you lose is not only going to grow back, but it's going to come back like better than ever. But also just like you are so cute and precious and worth cherishing. And anyone that does not have your best interests at heart, like they cannot stay. Like, I'm sorry, but listen, if it were a job, if there were a job where I could just like be a part of your lives and be like the bouncer and be like, listen, yes, you are worthy of pile 2, or no, you are not worthy of pile, like I would have so much fun doing that. But anyway, finally we have the breathe charm with lungs here, and the first thing I got was cystic fibrosis, so I don't know if that's like significant or someone you know is dealing with that. If someone you know passed from that, I am getting a specific message that like they just want you to know that they're watching over you and that they love you very much, and that like they hear you, or whatever you do as like a way to reach out to them, like they hear you. But for most people, I think that this charm is really just meant to represent that like when the connection is right, you will feel calm and you will feel at peace with them and you'll feel like you can breathe. Whereas like maybe in your past connections, you felt this constant sense of like dread or anxiety. I feel like there's just a sense of calmness, of creativity, of genuine camaraderie between you and whoever is coming in. And I feel like you have multiple options here, which is why in the extended we're going to look at multiple options. But I think more than anything, you're doing the necessary work to get yourself ready for someone who can actually genuinely cherish and appreciate who you are. So with that being said, I'm going to move on to your guidance. So Spirit, What guidance do you have for pile 2 when it comes to their love life moving forward? Pile 2. I focus on what I want and make it happen. So I definitely think that Spirit is really encouraging you to continue making any exciting plans in your personal life. I think that if you are trying to focus on like making decisions for your life on other people's schedule or based around what other people are doing, I think Spirit is asking you to redirect your focus on what you can control. Like there is an emphasis here on, in terms of focusing on what you want and making it happen. This is about what you want that's in your control. So what are the things in your immediate life that could bring you more peace? What is it that you know that inhibits you from connecting with others that you could address? Like anything that you can take action to work towards, I think you're being guided to do that, as that's just really going to help you. And maybe for some of it, it could be a much needed distraction. But we also have the 5 of Wands. I stand my ground and look for peace. So yeah, I feel like if there's anyone that has been disturbing your peace, like they may be coming through with confrontation, or they may be coming through with arguments, and those arguments might lead to a, you know what, I'm done, or you know what, this is over, or I can't be around you anymore. But I feel like Spirit is saying defend yourself, don't take anyone else's bullshit, but also, you know, pay attention to anyone that does try to bring about arguments with you. You know, are they an argumentative person, or are they a miserable person, or are they just looking for a fight? Like there are people that like to fight just because they're bored. I'm not one of them, and I'm not judging them. But what I do know is that if you are someone that does not like conflict, and you are around someone that enjoys conflict with you, like that is definitely a sign that like they are not going to lead you towards the more peaceful life that you are wanting. Turn this the wrong way, but pile 2, Spirit, what guidance do you have for pile 2? We have the Hermit. I follow my own path. So yeah, I definitely think that Spirit is really encouraging you to go within and listen to yourself and listen to what feels right for you. I feel like you may need to tune out some noise, and you may need some time to just hermit it up and really just go within and ask yourself what you need, and get in touch with yourself, and get in touch with what's been holding you back, and also get in touch with what parts of you are craving validation to the point where you're willing to get it from people that are not nice to you, or that are not worth your time and attention. You deserve more than that, pile 2. And I also just think that Spirit is saying like there's a lot of wisdom to come from this time. And I think more than anything, like if people are not adding to or contributing to your own peace, your own happiness, like they gotta go. Like life's too short for this. Like I wish I could be your own personal bouncer, but I haven't figured out how to multiply myself yet. Anyway, Spirit, what guidance do you have for pile 2? So we have reflection, and it says give each other some space at the moment, trust and have faith that all will work out for the best. So I definitely think that Spirit is saying like reflection is going to be important here. I don't know if this necessarily has to do with another person. I think if anything, as you reflect, you're going to realize like how much crap you were putting up with that like was not necessary. But I also think as well, like if someone is truly meant to be in your life, like after reflection and growth, like things will shift and change. But I do think that if you do have any arguments with someone and you don't want to like cut them out of your life, I do think at the very least like giving yourself space and saying, listen, like I don't have the energy, I don't have the capacity to do this right now, like I just need some space, like, and hopefully it'll be chill and you can work it out. We also have this card, and it says, criticizing one another will only lead to further unhappiness. Love and accept each other as you are, and your relationship will magically transform. And I think that this has nothing to do with another person and everything to do with you. Like, stop criticizing yourself. Stop, shaming yourself. Stop beating yourself up for, 1, things that make you human. 2, things that just for being flawed. And like 3, I think more than anything, your relationship with yourself needs to transform, because you're not being your own best advocate when it comes to how people are treating you. You're not speaking up for your own needs and saying yes when you really should be saying no. That's a form of self-betrayal. People pleasing, it's a form of self-betrayal. And I think more than anything, Spirit is saying like what's next for you in love is letting go of those tendencies so that you can have this authentic love, let it in, and not actually get a love that you deserve having. So pile 2, I'm going to go ahead and move over to the extended, where I'm going to be looking at romantic options and opportunities coming in to your life. I think I'm going to roll a dice and then just see like what comes through, and then we'll go from there. But yeah, it should be fun. Definitely feel free to check that out. But if you're leaving me here, thank you so much for watching, and thank you so much for letting my ads play in the background. That is one of the simplest and easiest ways to support me. But if you'd like to support me in other ways, you can like this video, comment down below, let me know how it resonates. You can subscribe if you haven't already, and click that little notification bell to be notified whenever I upload a new reading. You can also check out the extended, which is insanely helpful. You can check out my candles at angelicmagic888.com. Be sure to use code ASO10 for 10% off. I also have merch and social media, but that's all I have for you guys. Thank you so much for watching and for being here. I hope you all have a wonderful day or night whenever it is that you're watching this video, and I hope you'll come back and see me again soon. Bye! Hi there, pile 3. Welcome to your reading, and thank you so much for being here. If you guys chose this Herkimer diamond cluster, this is going to be your reading on what is next in love. So to start, we have the 7 of Cups. We have the 3 of Wands. And we have the Wheel of Fortune. We also have the 10 of Wands, the 10 of Pentacles in reverse, and the 9 of Wands. Okay, let me just make sure everything's in the frame. Okay, cool. Yay, it is. So you'll definitely know this pile is for you if you are dealing with, I'm trying to say a better word than a lot, but a lot. And realistically, there could be a lot of chaotic and stressful things happening outside of your life right now, but I also think there's a lot of chaos like in your own internal world as well. And I definitely think that like the first message coming through, even because what's next in love isn't just about romantic relationships, even though that's what this is focused on. But, you know, your own self-love is very important. I'm not about to be here like, but what's next in love for you is self-love. But what I am here to say is that what's next at the very least, or what should happen right now, is, first of all, a need to let go a little bit and chill out. And I don't mean that in a way that's like, oh my God, you're being crazy. Like, you just need to chill out. You just need to... But what I'm seeing from these cards and what I'm hearing is that you're putting way too much pressure on yourself. And not only that, you're not seeing things clearly. And that is creating this unnecessary pressure and reinforcing this idea that there's something you're not doing right, or everything is all on you in some way. If you are in a relationship, the overall vibe that I'm getting is that you may be a little bit confused, or you may be feeling like where you and your partner are at is just very out of sync. And with that, you might be feeling like the majority of those problems rest on your shoulders solely. And I will say, like, there could be a real difference here. Like, for some of you, you could be in, like, if you're in the relationship group, you could be in a, like, overall healthy relationship. It's just that, like, both of you are either dealing with confusion or there's a lack of communication. You're just out of sync. For others, you could be, this relationship, I would say, that you could be dealing with is more one-sided, and you'll know if that's you, because you'll be in a relationship and you'll feel like you're doing all of the work and your partner's doing none of it. Now, if you're not in a relationship, then I feel like you are putting an unnecessary amount of stress on yourself for being single or not finding the right partner. That is kind of, yeah, those are like my 3 camps. But I also feel like no matter what camp you're in, one thing that everyone that picked this pile has in common, energetically at least, is this idea that you're projecting outside of yourself that, like, and this is actually a theme that I've noticed in some of the other readings as well. You're like projecting outside of yourself this idea that things are better or you must be doing something wrong. Like I see you placing a lot of blame on yourself, like I'm not doing things the right way, or you're comparing yourself to other people and thinking, should I be more like this or should I be more like that? But I also think depending on who you're seeing, like for example, if you're with a one-sided partner, you're the most important group that I need to like kind of call out a little bit, because you may be allowing a narrative to be written that it is your responsibility to take on the entire burden of the relationship, or it is your problem or your job to be like your partner's parent or to put in all the work, and that's not accurate. I also think what's next for you could be a realization of where illusions have been causing you to place unnecessary pressure on yourself and overwhelm yourself or overburden yourself. But I feel like for a lot of you, what's truly next is a relieving of tension that's very necessary. For some of you, for my single group, what I will say is that you could either be dating a lot in the next coming like months or so, having some lighthearted connections, but there's something big coming. For all of you, there's something big coming. If you're in a relationship, I feel like one of the biggest things is that the cycle that you're in this relationship is either one, like for example, if you're in the kind of out of sync group where the relationship is mostly happy, it's just like you're kind of out of sync, or like there's confusion, there's a lack of clarity. I definitely see that like this phase is going to move probably quicker than you think, but what it's going to require is a willingness to let go of old ways of relating with each other, and also an ability on your part to protect your energy better. If you are in a one-sided connection, situationship, relationship with someone, I do see you at the very least taking a step back, and you know what you do is up to you in this position. But if you're in a relationship with someone where if you're in a one-sided relationship or situationship, I think that you're kind of realizing that this situation is not only unsustainable, but it's bringing you a lot of stress. It's making you feel overwhelmed. You're not even seeing things clearly. And I think that there is a conscious intention to draw back your energy and focus on what you actually deserve and what the divine has in store for you. Now, if you're single, what we're looking at here is you kind of waking yourself up out of a bit of a funk that you've been in, where maybe you've been thinking, oh, I'll never find someone, or you've been placing all this pressure and all this burden on yourself to be what you think people will be attracted to, or even just falling into tropes or ideas of how you think you should be, or how you think dating should be, or beating yourself up for the way that you are because, like, you know, let's say you're more of a homebody. You know, people often say, well, you're not going to meet the love of your life on your couch, which, first of all, in today's technologically driven world, that is so not true. And second, I feel like you may just be like shaming yourself and beating yourself up for things that just naturally are just who you are as a person, and like assigning those things as unlovable, and then putting unnecessary stress on yourself to like contort yourself into a person you think is lovable. And what your guides want you to understand is, well, I guess your guides, I wasn't specifically thinking your guides, but for this group that this resonates for, your spirit guides want you to know that the best love is not going to come from you contorting yourself into what you think is lovable. It's going to come from you letting go of those mental constrictions and those judgments and those criticisms of yourself, and recognizing that the people most aligned with you will love your authentic self. They won't love the contorted version of you that's not real and not authentic. I mean, obviously we all have places to grow and improve, but I feel like like, for example, if you are a naturally introverted person, i.e. you get energy by removing yourself, like you get drained from social situations, you don't get energized. You can't force yourself to become an extrovert. You're going to be absolutely exhausted all the time. And obviously the respect, like that's a whole other conversation, but that was just a small example. And the point of it that I'm trying to say is that there's a difference between wanting to improve yourself and like grow as a person, which is wonderful, and trying to fundamentally change the things that make you you because you are worried that they're unlovable or you worry that other people won't like them. And your guides want you to stop that. So that is definitely something where I feel like you are coming back to yourself in a really healthy way. Now, for those of you that are traveling in the near future, I do see that you could make a connection with someone. But the thing is I don't know if it could just be like a little travel fling, like a little, I'm seeing them, it could be intense actually, because I'm seeing the movie, a movie in my head that I cannot remember the name of it, but it, like, the premise of it is that like two strangers meet in a European city. I can't remember which one. I don't even know which country it's in. I want to say it's like Italy or I don't know. It's somewhere on the continent of Europe, a city somewhere on that continent. And they have this, just like the whole movie just kind of follows them having this very intense, passionate experience with one another. And then they go their separate ways and go back to their own lives. So you could meet like a person that you have an intense connection with, or you could have like a fun connection with someone that you meet while traveling, but there may not be much substance to it. However, that may not be for everyone, because what I'm seeing overall is that there's definitely like what's next in love for you in general is a shift in how you've been operating in terms of how you look at love, how you think you deserve love, how you receive love, and what you are willing to accept and not accept. I also think that your priorities in love are improving, where I think that you're becoming aware of what's unsustainable within you, like habits, patterns, behaviors, and then also looking at shifting your focus from the potential of people to more of like, is this functional? Instead of looking at people's potential, looking at what's right in front of you and what's actually there. Because you know how hard it is to change yourself. You can't change anyone else. And so I think for you might be feeling very frustrated in the next couple of months, because there may be a little bit of confusion and like an uncertainty of what's going on here. Why, like, I just want to know more. Why don't I know more? You'll know more when you need to know more. And kind of one of the frustrating things about this energy is that there is this air of secrecy around this destiny card. And it's so funny because it's like really big, like it's really powerful. But I keep being pulled like away from that towards kind of everything else. And I think that's because that's where your focus is. I think your focus is very much on what's going wrong and what's not right. And I think on top of that, you're beating yourself up and like, holding yourself to inhuman standards, or having this expectation that you should be everything for everyone or show up in certain ways, or, just buy into illusions that create more stress for you and put more burden and responsibility that's not even yours on your plate. And I definitely feel like you're going to be letting go of this need, if you're single, to be in control of your love life in general. I feel like you're going to be going with the flow more. And instead of looking at things like, is this going to be something or is it not? Like, I feel like you're just going to allow things to flow and kind of just let things happen as they will. If you are in a relationship, though, I definitely see that there has to be some restructuring here. And what that restructuring looks like is going to be different. For those of you where you are in a relationship with a partner that is healthy and willing to work with you, then I think that however that restructuring works will not only bring you more peace, but it will also really help. But for those of you that are in a one-sided relationship with someone that's not willing to change, not willing to grow, not willing to work with you, I do think you will make the decision to at the very least protect your energy and take a step back and ask yourself, is this the type of person I want in my life and very close to me? So to summarize what's next in love for you, it is a release of burden and a little bit of clarity, but not a ton. It's going to be something that kind of, like, the fog will fade in time, but it's something that you're just going to, like, I feel like it's these next few months you're going to kind of move through. There's not going to be a whole lot of like conscious understanding of what's happening. The best thing that you can do is just move through it, because the understanding will come in hindsight and you'll understand why things had to happen the way that they did. And there's something big coming though. And I feel like it's hard for me to even talk about it, or like I have to force myself to like point at that, because I feel like you're very focused on what's going wrong, what's not right, what you might be doing wrong, and fear. I feel like you're plagued by fear right now. And I have so much compassion for you. Like, I'm sending you a big hug. My higher self is sending yours a big hug. And I want you to know that like fear is so normal, and it is so okay to be afraid. But this is supposed to be what's next in love, not what's next in fear. And I think what's next in love for you is having more of a love-based mindset, especially towards yourself and towards what you deserve to receive and what is actually going to be fulfilling for you. And I have a feeling that you could have some very interesting dating experiences. But if you're in a relationship, what happens between the two of you is really going to come down to the both of you. But I think ultimately, whatever does happen, you're going to be energetically stronger and energetically clearer. And it's actually interesting because I felt called to pull this card I feel like this pile really needs to get Herkimer Diamond, or if you don't want to get it, you can pray to the crystal angel of Herkimer Diamond. You might think that sounds crazy, but yes, every crystal has an angel and it vibrates that frequency of the crystal, so you can do that as well. But let's talk about Herkimer Diamond. Herkimer diamonds are not in fact diamonds. They are far more attainable, extra hard, clear quartz beauties with their own alluring energetic properties. Found in New York's Mohawk Valley, the clarity and two naturally faceted ends of Herkimers earn them their diamond moniker. Who needs it? Reiki masters, travelers on the spiritual path, highly sensitive people. Where to put it in spaces you want to zone as sacred, and when to use it. When you're reaching for clearer than ever through spirituality, therapy, or healing work. Brush off all those unwanted vibes with Herkimer diamonds. I said intense, even though that word wasn't there. So I definitely think like the intensity of what you're experiencing is something that is going to be dissipating. But I think what you'll realize is that a lot of that intensity was pressure being placed on yourself by you or others. And it could also be the pressure or the fear mounting of not knowing what's happening, not knowing what's next, not knowing what you're meant to do next. So we're going to go ahead and get into your charms now to get some more information. But I will say, I think for what we're going to do for your extended, and I did it for pile 2s, is I'm going to pull 3 different potential romantic options. And one of them is going to be this destiny, and then the other 2 are going to be potentials, because I do see that like there could be multiple people coming in, but I want to see if there's someone specifically that's like destined to come in that you might be either preparing yourself for, or you could already be with that person. It's just you guys are working through some kinks. But shut up. Part of being a medium is having things put in your head that you just are not going to repeat. Anyway, so I think what I'm going to do in the extended is we're going to look at 3 different romantic options, including the destined one, and we're going to see like what you need to know about each of them, and we'll get into advice. They've been really interesting, so if you want to check that out, that'll be linked below. But moving on to charms, and my eyes are now closed. Spirit, what's next in love for pile 3? Okay. Woo! All right. Let's do it. Okay. Yeah, boy. We got some, I was going to say we got some truth bombs. But what do we have other than the not gonna lie pen from one of my dearest and just most wonderful friends, Lorraine from the Hermit Tarot. If you've not checked out the Hermit Tarot, you need to do that soon, now. Like pause this video, go subscribe to her, and then come back and you can finish it, and then you can check out all of her wonderful content. But yeah, this not gonna lie button. This is definitely spirit coming out to say like, what's next in love for you is removing illusions. And also, like, for example, if you are someone who is very comfortable in suffering by going with the status quo or people pleasing, I feel like that awareness of like, I can't people please anymore, I can't do this anymore, that is going to come to the surface. I also think you're going to be seeing through people that have been intentionally manipulative or deceptive towards you. And this isn't even romantic partners. And seeing the reality of that, and how maybe you've been very unfair to yourself by placing unnecessary expectations or taking responsibility for things that were never your responsibility in the first place. But I also think that you're going to be honest with yourself, and honest with yourself about like, what is it that you actually want, and what is it that you need in a partner? Like, and if you are in a partnership, like, is this working? Is it not? I feel like more than anything, the truth is being revealed, whether it's you to yourself, the universe to you, other people to you, vice versa. Truth is coming out in lots of different ways. And actually, I think with like the little star, the starfish here, like anything that's, first of all, starfish hang out on like the surface of the water. So I do feel like, first of all, well, not entirely, I don't know, pretty sure they do. I don't know. I'm not a marine biologist. But what I do know is that like, I feel like there's lots of truth coming out from different places. And I feel like the universe is going to make you increasingly aware of where it's time to move forward, where it's time to let go. But you're being led to your destiny, exactly where you need to be going, because everything that you're doing is operating on divine timing. Like, this is my divine timing charm. It's this stopwatch. And you have multiple divine timing symbols, actually. Because this one, the sun, moon, and stars, like, whatever is meant to happen, there's something big that is meant to happen in your love life that is going to be, first of all, like, I literally heard the words divinely ordained, and that it is going to happen. It's just a matter of time. And I actually think one of the things that you might be dealing with is like, you might be worried that you're missing something or that you're doing something wrong, when in reality, it may just take time for things to align the way that they need to. And so I think it's very important for you to trust in something deeper than yourself and to stay connected to your energy, because when you stay connected to your energy and stay connected to your heart and what's real and true for you, that's going to make it a lot easier for you to know what's actually aligned with you in love and what isn't. But what's beautiful is that we have this rose quartz heart here, and you're mastering lessons of unconditional love. And the thing is that unconditional love is not about sacrificing yourself for the needs of another. It's about loving without conditions, but not allowing other people to, loving yourself enough to know what you deserve, to stand up for yourself, to stick up for yourself, to be kind to yourself, to be patient with yourself, and to do your best to extend that to others. Doesn't mean you have to be, like, if you can be unconditionally loving and compassionate towards yourself, then it can be a lot easier to be compassionate towards others. And it can also be a lot easier to be less attached to outcomes, because you know you're being guided by something greater and something very loving. I also think rose quartz could be a great stone for you to work with, but I think you're learning about unconditional love and the universal nature of it. And in fact, you deserve a love that is unconditional. You deserve a love that is pure, and you deserve a love that is not going to make you feel like you have to do everything, or make you feel like you have to be someone you're not, or be anything other than the person. I just lost my train of thought, but this is not something you can think about to understand. It's something you have to feel. It's something that you have to work towards. And I think what you're working towards is making sure that your environment and your behavior and your choices align with that unconditional love, especially towards yourself. And I think this is leading to a very beautiful, fresh start for you. And it could be in love, or it could be in a new relationship, or in a relationship that needs a revamping. But more than anything, I see you moving through this cycle is exactly what is going to get you. It's going to get you to a place better than you imagined, like mentally and emotionally. Let's see. We also have ambitious with Capricorn here. And so Capricorn energy could be significant. You could be a Capricorn. Someone else could be a Capricorn. Capricorn placements could be significant. But this is also, to me, like devil energy. You know, Capricorn resonates with the devil card. And I think that this is a lot about releasing what you're attached to. And I think Spirit is asking you to dream big and to think big and to visualize more for yourself. You know, the back of this says ambitious. And I think that Spirit is saying that you have the capacity to put in the work and have the patience and the discipline to either wait for what's right for you, or at the very least not accept anything less than what's true for you, and also not accept a life not aligned with you when it's not working. I feel like Spirit is saying continue to think highly, continue to think powerfully. But we also have this cross here, so Christianity in some way could be significant. My man Jesus could be significant. But I think more than anything, Jesus is really coming through in terms of an important lesson. And that lesson is meaningful sacrifice. And I think that in the case of your reading and your life in general, I think that what you're truly wanting is a deep, unconditional, authentic love with someone. And in order to get that, there are sacrifices that have to be made. You have to sacrifice the certainty of being with someone that you know doesn't fulfill that. You have to sacrifice certainty in general, because there is no such thing as certainty, but being attached to that. You can be attached to things because they feel more certain. You have to sacrifice, your fears around either rejecting others or being rejected. You have to sacrifice any habits or behaviors that are stopping you from loving yourself more, that are stopping you from treating yourself the way you deserve. You have to sacrifice time and energy with people that do not make you feel good, do not make you feel loved. But it's all possible. And I think really what Jesus is coming through to ask you today is, what can you sacrifice, or what can you sacrifice if you feel there is something that is needed to be sacrificed? Or what would you sacrifice if you knew that in sacrificing that you would get exactly what you wanted? It's almost like, I feel like you're being encouraged to sacrifice like dinner scraps so that you can have a beautiful feast that's like 2 doors down. I feel like the universe is really all about, it's trying to get you to trust yourself and trust in its unconditionally loving wisdom, because it wants the best for you. And I feel like one of the sacrifices that you might have to make that could be especially meaningful is sacrificing attachments and past experiences in order to be open to what's new, or in order to be open to something more aligned with you. It might be sacrificing the fear of losing something or the fear of change in order to embrace what change can bring you. I guess that's just food for thought for you. What sorts of meaningful sacrifice could bring you closer to the person that you would like to be? Not a person that you're forcing yourself to be, but like in terms of growth and improvement, what could you sacrifice to aid you in that journey? And the sacrifice is not about letting go of something. It's about making room for something better to take its place. So it's not about like proving something or anything like that. It's literally just about what can you let go of so that you can be open to something else, Like, for example, let's say you're a skier, water or snow, I don't give a shit. And you had these skis from when you were a child, and you love these skis, you're so attached to them, and you refuse to get a new pair. Even though your feet grow, even though you get older and they get older. And it may impair your ability to ski because maybe they don't fit. Maybe they're decaying or rotting. Maybe they don't work anymore. But you're so attached to them that you're unwilling to get a new pair. So a meaningful sacrifice in that case might be, well, I actually want to enjoy skiing and be able to do it well. So I think I'm going to sacrifice and at least get another pair. I don't have to get rid of the other pair, but at the very least, like, I need to try some new skis on so that I can actually get the job done. So ask yourself where you may be putting on skis that are a little bit too small for your feet. We also have this cat though, and that for me is just immediately trust your intuition. Trust your intuition, trust your intuition, especially when you get a weird vibe around someone, because that is someone that I would be careful of. And you know what? Actually, for your extended pile 3, I'm going to ask about this destiny thing. We're going to see like who this person is, and we're just going to dive deep into that. So I take back the 3 options because I feel like you're going to kind of intuitively know whether something's going to go deeper or not. And I feel like I just want to confirm to you, like, either what this destiny is about or get as much information as possible so that you have something to look forward to and, like, give meaning to the sacrifices you might be making. But finally, we have this octopus. And I feel like for you, like, this octopus is a lot about, one, honoring how intelligent your mind is, but not allowing it to rule the show, to remember that it doesn't know everything. But also, you know, octopuses have a lot to do with boundaries. And you might want to pay attention to where you have like well-meaning but messy relationships and see where you can maybe set better boundaries. There's a lot about boundaries here. And I think a lot of it is just about giving away less of yourself, because I don't think you're receiving in return what you give away. And I feel like that is creating an imbalance with you and the people around you that's like leaving you drained and leaving you less open to like loving energies and probably leading you to shit like compassion fatigue. But I also think that one thing Spirit wants you to be aware of is the fact that you are adaptable and malleable. And while that can be a good thing, it can also be a bad thing, because you can be willing to let go of things that matter to you or be willing to adapt to a way of living that isn't actually suited for you out of love for someone else or attachment or something like that. And I feel like your guides are saying an important part of this time period is you understanding what actually works for you and what your needs are so that you don't concede those when it comes to connections with others. So those are your charms, and now we're going to get some guidance for you. Whew. Those are some deep-ass charms. As I cut the deck, we have the Wheel of Fortune again with I trust whatever the universe brings me. Teeth. Like, the universe is like, listen, we got some good stuff we want to bring you. But we can't if you're holding on to... I just heard in my head bitch boy scraps, but I don't think it's nice to be calling anyone a bitch boy, even if they are. They may not even be a boy. Anyway, Spirit, what guidance do you have for pile 3? We have the Knight of Swords. I choose my battles carefully. We have the King of Swords. I trust my ability to make a strategic decision. And we have the Fool. I am protected and guided on my life journey. And the bottom of the deck is the Three of Swords. I see things as exactly as they are. So it may be challenging to come to certain realizations about like maybe how you allowed other people to treat you, or about how like you may have been looking at things in a way that wasn't serving you. But with the Knight of Swords being here, I definitely think that Spirit is really encouraging you to be careful about, like, you may have these powerful realizations about certain connections in your life, and they don't even have to be romantic, that are just not serving you and that like need to shift or that you need space from. I think that Spirit is with the Knight of Swords and the King of Swords here, really saying to know your audience when you are dealing with these people, because it is quite possible that they may not need to know. Like, you may feel like you want to communicate what you've realized or what you need, and I feel like for some that could be helpful, but for other people that this may be, I feel like it may just be safer and easier to kind of just like remove yourself as amicably as possible, if that makes sense. I'm not going to tell you how to live your life. I think really what's the guidance with this Knight of Swords here is to just do not allow impulse to get the best of you when communicating with certain people, because they might trigger you, or they might put you in a defensive position, or they might, start verbally swinging and you might be called to do that back. And it could just be really draining, and it could just create more icky, intense energy that you just don't want or need. But with this King of Swords here as well, I think that Spirit is saying when it comes to love, like, use your head in powerful ways, not in destructive ways. So like, rather than using it to go and be fearful and worry about what's gonna happen, like what if I don't find anyone? What if this doesn't work? Like, going into fear, instead, trusting your ability to know what you need, and also like make choices that are going to be best for you and harmonious for you, and to trust that you don't have to know everything and that you can explore things. And when you reach challenges or you reach a better understanding, like, you can make different decisions, you can change. I feel like your strategy should be to just kind of let go of any strategy and just be open. But like, instead, have that strategy or that awareness, have that discernment instead, to use your discernment to look at connections in a way where it's like, is this going to be functional? Are we going to work well with one another? Or is this going to be something where it's like, oh, there's a lot of chemistry, but like, we don't work together at all. And like, this relationship seems like it's going to be a lot of stress and drama. Like, whatever it may be, I feel like Spirit is saying, like, use that big, beautiful mind of yours to be discerning about who's truly worthy of being in your energy. And finally, with the Fool, I feel like Spirit is saying that you also don't need to be that cognizant, that if anything, you deserve to be lighter, to feel brighter, and know that you are guided and protected on this journey, and that you're headed into a fresh start. And I think that you are letting go of what is getting in the way of that at this time. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish things off with some final little heart cards. So, okay, so first we have friendship, and it says, nurture the bonds of friendship and your love life will dramatically improve. So it could be possible that maybe you meet someone as a friend and then they grow into something more. Or if you are in a relationship with someone, you may want to focus on your friendship with them, or like, I don't know, do what you will with that. But I also think that like coming at things, like, it may be very beneficial for you if you're someone who gets into things very intensely and very quickly, to kind of start off as like being friendly, or, you know, start by building a friendship first. It might be easier for you then to make a strategic decision because your emotions aren't getting in the way, and you can also see like, okay, like, you can build something solid. But we also have, life is a series of constantly shifting cycles. When we resist change, we resist the natural flow of life and create unnecessary stress. Go with the flow. You'll be surprised where it leads. Yeah, no, Spirit's literally saying, bro, just trust us. Like, the theme of this reading, what's next in love? Get rid of all that shit that you don't need, because, bro, just trust us. We're taking you somewhere good. We're taking you somewhere good. You're gonna be really happy about it. So we're gonna go ahead and see if we can get any information about that in the extended. But if you are leaving me here, thank you guys so much for watching, and thank you so much for letting my ads play in the background while you're watching this, because that is one of the simplest and easiest ways to support me, show appreciation for my channel. So thank you to everyone who does that. If you'd like to support me in other ways, you can comment down below, let me know how it resonates. You can like this video, that's incredibly helpful. You can subscribe if you haven't already, and click that little notification bell to be notified whenever I upload a new reading. You can also check out my candles. Use code ASO10 for 10% off on any candles on the site. Obviously, you can check out the extended. That's incredibly helpful. And you can check out my Instagram, which is fucking verified now. So, meow, meow, meow. We're not gonna be worried about scammers anymore. Anyway, that's all I have for you guys. So thank you so much for watching and for being here. I hope you all have a wonderful day or night whenever it is that you're watching this video. And I hope you'll come back and see me again soon. Bye! Hi there, Pile 4. Welcome to your reading, and thank you so much for being here. If you guys chose the Citrine Tower Guy and this stack of tarot cards, this is going to be your reading. So, to start, we have the Two of Cups. You're reading on what's next in love. I don't think I said what the reading, you know what the reading is. It's like right there, but still. We have the Devil, or the villain in this case. And we have the Two of Swords. Then we have the Five of Swords in reverse. We have the Seven of Wands in reverse. And we have the Nine of Cups upright. Okay. You look and make sure these are all in the frame. Okay. So, pile 2. Pile 2. You're pile 4. Sorry, I was just looking at those 2s and I don't know. I just have this disease where I say the wrong pile name. Anyway. I feel like for a lot of you, if you chose this pile, you are either dating someone, seriously getting to know someone, or are already in a relatively happy and positive relationship with someone. If anything, I think it's not the relationship that's the problem. It's drama that exists outside of the relationship, and that is the vast majority of what Spirit wants you to know about. Oh, I get to do my Emily in Paris rant. Yes. Okay. So, I'm going to do a rant about, okay, no, let me get into this first before I do that rant. And then I'll get there. But it definitely seems like I said, if this pile is meant for you, it is because you have you have or are in or are going or seemingly going into a connection with someone that is very mutually aligned. You both feel good about one another. This could be new, or it could be getting more serious. And I feel like there's a lot of happiness surrounding that. But unfortunately, there are people around you that are not very happy about that. And the interesting thing is that this situation is a powerful opportunity. May not be ideal, but that is life. And in life, you are always going to have people that are hating on you and jealous and projecting their own ugly onto you, essentially. And you have choices in how you respond. And I think that the name of the game here is, it's not your fault what comes your way, but it is your responsibility and how you choose to deal with it. And I think one of the biggest things that Spirit is really encouraging of you is to not give this drama any time and attention. And when that drama starts to affect your state of being, that is when you need to take a step back and remember how much you deserve peace and how much you deserve to enjoy this beautiful connection that has come into your life, or that is in your life. Because with the 5 of Swords in reverse and the 7 of Wands in reverse, I definitely feel like you are either being criticized, judged, literally bullied, verbally harassed, or just dealing with a lot of negativity outside of yourself because of either jealousy or some other shadowy darkness. I feel like for some of you, this could be your ex or an ex of the person that you're seeing. It doesn't have to be an ex. It could be like a family member, someone that like for example, if your current partner has a very like toxic parent, it could be that. More than anything, there is very clearly someone here who is not happy with the relationship that you are in, either because they want to be in a relationship with that person, they want to be in a relationship with you. The vibe that I'm getting, though, is that they're jealous of you, they're upset with you, and they want to be in a relationship with that person. For some of you, I am even getting a vibe like you could have been friends with this person. Maybe you were both into the same person, or something like that, and there's upset, like there's hurt feelings around that, and this person might be taking it very personally. And I definitely feel like as long as there was no deceptive behavior on your part, you have nothing to be sorry for. I don't feel like, I don't get any vibes from this energy that like you were doing something like unfair to someone else, or that like you being in this relationship created harm in some way that you consciously knew, or in some way that you consciously intended. That's not the case. You being in this relationship is you having a beautiful connection with someone that feels the same way about you. The harm inflicted is that someone who wishes they were in your shoes is not getting to be in those shoes. And so as a result, they are in a position and in an energy of wanting to tear you down. And actually what's really interesting, maybe for some of you, you're not the one in the relationship, they are. Maybe this is like all past energy. Like maybe this person is with your ex and you're just kind of trying to do your own thing, and they're coming in like bothering you, try to mess with your energy. I don't think that's going to be for most of you. I think for a lot of you, like this is a situation where you are being tested, honestly. And I think one of the things is that the relationship that you have with this other person, that is going to be a huge opportunity for you to find support in one another. But it's also, this whole situation is going to be, how it plays out is going to be different for all of you. But the most important things to know are that a lot, if not all, of the negativity and drama coming your way has nothing to do with you and exists solely outside of you. And so what I love is that even the girl in this card, like her, she's like, no, get away. And like literally not even looking at all of this other crap. And so I feel like what your guides really want you to know is that none of this drama has anything to do with you. And you don't even have to entertain it for a second. The more you can embrace the feel-good vibes and just enjoy this time, especially if this is a newer relationship and you're excited and you feel good and you're both feeling good about one another, and this is a beautiful time to embrace that and embrace your person and embrace your connection and not let the outside negativity get to you. I think if anything, it could bring the both of you closer and it could help you just build a better support system. But I do think that like the biggest challenge for you is going to be not allowing that negativity to infect your own good energy, to infect the beautiful energy that you've cultivated with this person. And on top of that, to not allow it to infect your own inner critic and your own inner bully. Because, you know, when we are being bullied by other people, it can be easy to use that as justification to bully ourselves. And so I think in your case, one of the most helpful things you can do is not view this person or whoever they are as a villain, but just someone that is deeply wounded and incapable of holding space for themselves and handling either rejection or disappointing experiences in a way that isn't destructive for others. But also look at that behavior and consciously recognize that their behavior is a direct reflection of why they're not in the relationship you're in. Because they're engaging in behavior that's clearly not aligned with a person whose energy you are aligned with, that is more loving, that is more positive, that is more kind, you know? And I think that this has so much less to do with you and so much more to do with whatever these other people are experiencing because of their frustration with your relationship. And I feel like Spirit's saying you deserve to celebrate. It sucks that other people have issues, but they don't have to be your issues. This is just a fact of life. Like, you can, I know from personal experience, you can literally exist and be doing nothing and people will still find reasons to criticize you or straight up bully you. So anyway, with that being said, you just don't even need to be part of any of that mess. And what Spirit really wants you to know is that this is a powerful opportunity to use that negativity in a way that strengthens you as a person, where you recognize that if you're unwilling to accept energy that comes your way and you take steps to keep yourself in a good energy, whether it's seeking support, you know, doing things that uplift you, doing things that build your self-esteem, doing things that fulfill you and make you feel good, that will be very necessary and very beneficial during this time. And I feel like it will help you build resolve to realize like, oh, I can't control how other people feel, but I'm not going to deny my own happiness because someone else is upset that I got something that they didn't. None of this is your problem. And if anything, it shouldn't get in the way of your ability to connect with your person. And so I feel like what you need to know is that you don't need to worry about this for a second. What's next in love for you is up to you, you and your person. What you need to know is that you may be dealing with some negativity that is going to try to rain on your parade, but Spirit's saying, hey, we're letting you know ahead of time, bring an umbrella and like, I don't know, your cutest raincoat and slay. Like, dance in the rain, kiss in the rain. Like, let's go. Dance in the tears of this villain person. Anyway, am I seeing anything else? No, I feel like we need to get into charms. So we're going to continue looking at that. But I definitely think so. All the extendeds have ended up being unique. But since there is such a clear energy here. I think what we're going to do in the extended is just really go into like your person and your relationship together and like where they're at, how they're feeling, like anything you need to know about this situation, and anything your guides want you to know. So if you're interested, that'll be linked down below. But I'm going to get into charms now and close my eyes. So, okay. Spirit, pile 4. And their connection. What's next in love for pile 4 and their person? You guys got a lot. Okay. I really wanted to take this, but I didn't take it out. But whoever this person is, they give me hello, like Wicked Witch of the West energy. It's just very like, she wants your, like, listen, Dorothy, they want your ruby slippers, but don't you dare take them off. Don't take them off. All right? Those are yours to slay. Anyway, okay. This button popped out first, which is a button that says not gonna lie. And it is a button from my beautiful friend, Lorraine, the Hermit Tarot's online shop. So definitely check out the Hermit Tarot if you haven't. She is amazing and has just the most beautiful Australian accent. But anyway, this is definitely telling to me that like when you, oh, here comes my rant. Okay. When you are your authentic self, you're going to make other people upset, whether you intend to or not, because so much of life like is how we perceive it. And when we look at life through the perception of our own wounds and what we think we deserve and what we don't have, i.e. the lens of ego, life usually is pretty miserable. But here's the thing. It is better to be honest, at least in my opinion, to be honest about what's true to you than to be liked, especially in this case. And in your case, I have to go on a rant now about Emily in Paris because her character, I love Lily Collins, she's a goddess, but her character is so awful. And one of the things that drives me nuts is that she gets involved with one guy that lives in her apartment, right? Okay, and then she randomly meets this girl and becomes friends with her. She hooks up with the guy in the apartment. Then she finds out that they were in a relationship. And it becomes this weird love triangle thing where she doesn't want to let go of the friendship, but she doesn't want to so she's trying to let go of the person, but then she's getting like unnecessarily involved in their stuff, like to the point where they break up and she tries to get them back together even though she's in love with the guy that she's trying to set her friend up with still. Like it is so messy, and it is all rooted in her not wanting to feel like the bad guy and wanting to be liked. And I'm sure she cared about the friendship. I mean, she's a character, but point being is that this fucking character is like getting involved in other people's love lives and literally neglecting their own desires and their own what they actually want in order to appease other people, because it is more important to her, well, her character, to be liked and to be liked by others than to be in a loving connection with someone. And it just creates more chaos and drama, which is, I'm sure, why television writers use tropes like that. But the point being is, don't be like Emily in Paris, okay? Don't be like Emily in Anywhere, because she is going to live, her character is going to live a sad, well, no, she's not going to live a sad, bitter, miserable life, because she lives in a beautiful fantasy Paris land where all the beautiful men love her and all the problems she creates magically get resolved. But that's not how the real world works. And one of the things you have to be okay with is upsetting other people when you're doing what's right for you and what feels good for you. And when it comes to matters of the heart wants what it wants. And I don't think there was anything like shady going on between you and your person, but I feel like if you are wondering if you should break up with them because someone else is creating problems, or if it's actually stressing you out that someone is upset that you're with someone, that you're in a relationship, that is so not your problem and so not worth your time and energy. Because if they were really like a good friend or like really meant to be in your life, they wouldn't be so upset by you having something that makes them happy. By you having something that makes you happy. Like, if the terms of their friendship or the terms of their kindness are based on you not doing anything that interferes with what they desire, it might be kind of tricky. As I say, the whole point of what I'm trying to say in that whole long convoluted rant, I actually could honestly just rant about like just how toxic Emily's character is, because she's fucking toxic, and it's all because she can't be honest. She's a lying little weasel. Well, I'm being very harsh, but like, her character is written in a way that is just very like painful to watch, because it's just like just so much inauthenticity and wrapped up in a desire to be liked and needed, and it's just like, stop. But in your case, you don't need to have that. And I think that this is excellent training for you, embracing the beautiful things in your life and not letting the party poopers or the little stinky people that want to have a problem, little rats in the back of the class, you know, you can let them have their fuss and not pay any mind or any attention to it. And the fact that we have the evil eye charm here goes to show that you are being protected. There is someone sending the evil eye, 100%, but you're protected from it. And the best protection is goodwill. And just staying in good energy, sending them good energy. You don't have to, but at the very least, you know, not engaging with any of that energy and just recognizing, like, you know, I deserve good things. I deserve this relationship. And it might make you very anxious to be like upsetting someone else by putting yourself first. But listen, that's how you gotta do life, period. Like, I mean, there are times to put others before you, and of course like that, but when it comes to matters of the heart and the things that truly, truly matter, the things that make your life, that can make or break the life of your dreams or a life of mediocrity, like, you gotta choose you. But also, with this charm being here with divine timing, I definitely think that, like, things will dissipate in time. I feel like Spirit's really just asking you to trust with that. But I also think that Spirit is saying, like, this is a beautiful phase of your connection with your person. Don't allow other people's crap to get in the way, because, like, you know, relationships go through cycles and phases just like anything does. And this is a really beautiful time to embrace the moment and make memories. You don't need some, I'm not going to say the C word, but a jealous C word ruining that for you. But as I say that, we have just keep going. So yeah, Spirit's saying keep doing you. Don't engage in that crap. It's not your problem. It's not your drama. But also, not your circus, not your monkeys. We have this little teddy bear. And so I feel like Spirit's really saying, you know, when you are getting upset, when it is overwhelming, that's okay. You're allowed to be emotional. You're allowed to be upset. Just let it flow and do things that make you feel comforted, that make you feel safe, because that will help you move through any difficult or uncomfortable energies that come from making other people upset. The reason I just paused was because I was like, did I reach the point of my Emily in Paris rant? The point of my Emily in Paris rant is, like, she creates so much suffering for herself and others because she's just unwilling to be honest about what she actually wants, and is unwilling to cope with the idea of being disliked by other people for understandable reasons. Like, just be honest. Like, just be honest. Let go of the need to be liked. Like, it's not serving you. And I guess my point is that you're literally, like, when you are not honoring what is true to you, you're literally taking away the opportunity to be aligned with what's true to others as well. Like, if you are, like, for example, if you are set, like, let's say you settle for a relationship that you're not very happy in because you're afraid that you won't get anything better. You're not only robbing yourself of the opportunity to find someone that's, like, truly loving, but you're robbing, like, your partner of that opportunity as well, and the people that you would all align with. Like, there is so much when it comes to just trusting what is authentic to you that leads you to, like, the most aligned and win-win outcome situations. But yeah, okay, I'm done with that rant. I'm so sorry. But I just, like, I don't know, I had to go there. Like, I haven't thought about that in a long time, but I definitely did this time. We also have this little seahorse. So seahorses could be a significant animal, but seahorses are also like mates. I'm pretty sure they mate for life. And so I feel like Spirit is really saying here, like, for example, if this is a friend that is upset that you're dating someone that maybe they were interested in or something like that, like, in the grand scheme of things, like, would you rather hold on to a friendship where the friendship is clearly not that kind or uplifting or loving just for the sake of appeasing a friend and lose out on a potential, like, partner? Or explore life with a partner that is going to be intimately connected with you and allow the people that are happy for you and happy for what you've cultivated to stay in your life and let go of the icky vibes. I feel like what Spirit is saying is that, like, when you think about things long term and you think about, like, what is going to sustain you, what is going to nurture you, what really matters for you, like, those are the things that should help you make decisions. And when you're thinking about what you should do, let go of any codes, let go of that stuff, okay? Like, it's more drama than it's worth. And the fact that we have breathe here is really a huge sign for me that, like, you can't control what's happening outside of you. You just need to, like, reserve your energy. Don't even be open to that crap. And I would say, like, if you're trying to keep the peace with them, like, at least try to mute them or do anything you can to just, like, not have their energy around. If there's anything in their energy that's, like, if there's anything, like, connected to them energetically in your home, you might want to, like, take it out. Even if it's meaningful, you might want to, like, put it somewhere else for a little while. But I feel like Spirit's really saying, like, it might be hard and it might be painful to, like, embrace something that you love but sacrifice, you know, peace or sacrifice someone else's feelings. But what Spirit's really saying is that, like, although it's uncomfortable, like, you can breathe through it and you'll be okay. Like, sometimes you're gonna have to make decisions that are good for you that other people don't like, and that doesn't make you a bad person, and it doesn't necessarily make the people that don't like it bad people either. It just means that we're all trying to do the best we can, and some of us cope better with disappointment than others, and we're all at different places in life, different places of healing. But the difference between you and whoever this person is, which is sad because it's like, what's next in love? I don't know, because this person, like, is robbing you of your energy and of your desire to embrace this. But I really do feel like there could be some energy here that brings out insecurities or brings out tension in the connection if you allow it to fester too long or be too overbearing. So those are your charms. I'm gonna go ahead and get you some guidance now because we definitely need that. We definitely do. I really think that this could be powerful for your solar plexus chakra. Like, if you've been wanting to gain more confidence and stand in your power, this is an excellent way to do it. And you don't need to be powerful by telling someone off or, like, you know, being petty. You can be powerful by choosing love and choosing kindness and choosing to focus on what matters to you and not paying any attention to this negativity or this drama or anything that just brings you down. Anything. So, Spirit, what guidance do you have for pile 4 when it comes to this situation moving forward? I see things exactly as they are. So I definitely think that in this case, Spirit is saying, you know, don't make excuses for any poor behavior that is directed at you. But also don't invalidate your emotions and how that might make you feel. Like, it's okay to be upset and be sad that someone is mad at you or that someone is upset with your situation. But that doesn't mean that you should literally stop doing what you're doing because someone else is upset with it. I feel like this is a time for you to just observe and recognize that, like, you can't control where other people's behavior is. And this might have exposed to you, you know, someone's behavior that you thought, like, maybe you thought you guys were closer or you didn't expect them to act this way or something like that. But I feel like for you, there really is this energy here of disengage and focus on you. And realize that, like, sometimes in order to get what we truly love, we have to experience some hard stuff that maybe isn't our choice, but just is just a direct result of conflicting interests or conflicting desires. But I feel like Spirit is really warning you not to let this energy fester, because I think it could really mess with your psyche and really just bring your energy down when you have the opportunity to embrace such a beautiful, harmonious, happy connection with someone. We also have the Seven of Swords. I take great care of what I value. And so that is another thing. Valuing your energy and valuing this connection is not only important to you, but there's a part of me that's like, you better embrace every moment of this. If there's someone that is making your life that difficult because you're just trying to vibe in a happy relationship, you better keep on doing what is right for you, and you better keep staying in your own energy and moving in silence and doing whatever. I feel like Spirit's really saying, like, you don't need to explain yourself. You don't owe anything to anyone. It is not your responsibility to care for anyone else's emotions. What you need to value is this connection and yourself and your own needs, because you're not doing anything wrong by doing what's right for you. And just because there are self-centered people in the world that think that they deserve everything or have this sense of entitlement, you know, doesn't mean that you have to behave like, just because their entitlement causes them to act in ways that are honestly just sad. The entitlement to even think that it's okay to treat someone poorly just because they got something that you didn't, like, it's sad. And what you need to know is that at least you can say you wouldn't treat someone this way. And at least you can say that you chose yourself, and in choosing yourself, this person's true colors were revealed, and you don't have to owe them, they don't deserve any energy or any space in your mind. And so when your mind starts lingering on that, that's when you want to say, oh, no, and like redirect yourself. Actually, it's so funny. I was laughing about this earlier, and I don't think I said it. There's this video. Donald Trump, where he's like, it's like an official, like, in the White House, like, while he was president, like, it's around COVID time, and this lady's like, I will say, I took some time off this weekend because I had a low-grade fever, and he just goes, ugh, like, and just like, ugh, and like walks away, literally walks off stage, walks off camera. It's just like, I'm not dealing with this, which is just so funny to me. I'm not saying anything political. I'm literally just saying, like, that behavior to me is like, honestly, the behavior you need to be embodying. Like, lady with COVID is this bad vibe, and you are like just strong going, ugh. And I'm not saying, like, I'm literally just talking about an example of a video that I find funny. It is not deeper than that. So I hope no one takes weird offense to that. I think we can all agree at this point, like, I don't know, just look at the video. It's really funny. It's like really funny. And I just feel like that is your energy, in the sense of, like, that is what you need to do. Like, no regard for the room of reporters, no regard for the camera, no regard for other people's feelings. Like, ugh, no, I don't even want to deal with the possibility. Like, in your case, COVID is bad vibes. Like, this person's bad vibes, this person's negativity, you just go, ugh, like, no, you get a whiff of it, absolutely not, out of here. Like, that is you. That is your energy. You are that Nine of Cups. But let's see, what else, Spirit? What other guidance do you have for pile 4? We have the Six of Swords. I know that peaceful times will always come. And so, yeah, I feel like Spirit's really saying this battle is with your mind. Like, it really is. And so the best thing that you can do is not allow your mind to play games, not allow your mind to run away with this energy, and not to focus on it. And I know that's hard. Sometimes the best thing you can do is distract yourself or do things that bring you joy. Luckily, you have a partner or a soon-to-be partner that is really into you and really is liking what's going on, same as you. So that could be a wonderful distraction and reprieve from the negativity that you may be experiencing. But I want to go ahead now, and before we move on into the extended, where I'm really just gonna like look at this connection, like what you need to know, how your person is feeling, and all that. We're just gonna do that. We've talked enough about this. But Spirit, what guidance do you have for pile 4 moving forward? And I think the biggest reason why Spirit is like, you know, you might be frustrated, like, this is what's next in love. Like, why are you talking about this external person? It's like, because they could actively take you away from your ability to be in love, in the sense that, like, you know, if you're worried about things, if you're feeling guilty for having a positive connection, it could just get in the way of a lot. And, like, it's not your fault what happens to you, but it is your responsibility how you choose to deal with it. And I think Spirit is really saying you have the wisdom and the awareness to deal with it in a way that aligns with your heart and keeps you in the best state possible. So make those choices. But anyway, first card. There we go. That's, Imagine all unwanted thoughts dissolving into light, creating room for new opportunities and possibilities in your life. And we have acceptance is the key to inner peace. At times, we must accept things as they are. There is no point trying to change that which is beyond our control, which is exactly my point. Literally exactly my point. So just accept that you can't change people's behavior and that people are behaving in the ways in which they know how and in the ways that which they're just, that's where they're at. And, you know, your ability to accept that and not allow that to deviate from behavior that is aligned with your heart is the most powerful thing that you can do. And I think Spirit is really saying, enjoy this, embrace this connection, this relationship, and do not allow any rain to stop you from enjoying your love parade. So pile 4, I am going to go ahead and move on to the extended now, but if you're leaving me here, thank you guys so much for watching, and thank you so much for letting my ads play in the background, because that is one of the simplest and easiest ways to support me. But if you'd like to support me in other ways, you can like this video, comment down below, let me know how it resonates, and subscribe if you haven't already. You can also click that little notification bell to be notified whenever I upload a new reading. You can also check out my merch as well as my social media. And do I have anything else? I don't know. I'm starting to brain fart. Oh, candles. Use code XO10 for 10% off. And yeah, I hope you all have a wonderful day or night whenever it is that you're watching this video. Thank you so much for being here, and I hope you all come back and see me again soon. Bye!